Hey guys, Dane here with CVF Off-Road. Today we're going to be doing a rear bumper install on this 22 Ram 3500 pickup. These instructions and installation will work for any 19 to current Ram pickup 2500 or 3500. First thing we'll do is get under the truck, disconnect the wiring harness for the bumper. So we'll get started now. Our truck has one main harness connector. Some trucks will have two. Both will be located on the driver's side. Next, we'll get up and we'll remove the bolts from the back of the bumper behind the license plate. It's going to be a 15mm socket for these two nuts. So we'll actually put this back on, just a few threads. Once we remove the bolts that hold the bumper onto the frame rails, this will be the last thing that holds the bumper in place so it doesn't fall on our head. So next we'll get under the truck. The nut we left in place is the only thing holding the bumper on now. So we'll push the bumper forward to keep it on its locating pins. We'll remove that nut. And now we can slide the bumper off. The last thing to remove on the truck is going to be the bottom bolt here for the receiver. We'll do that on both sides. This bolt's coming out so we can reattach our new bracket later on. Now we can move on to removing the wiring harness from this bumper. We'll start in the middle, T20 torque screws for removing this module. Then we'll move on to the plug for our trailer harness. And then we'll start working our way from the inside out, removing all the little clips and plugs that hold things in place, removing the rear parking sensors as well. We'll move into installing the new bumper mounting brackets. We'll start with the side piece first. This lower notch points down. Use the factory bolt we removed earlier. Get them started finger tight. And then the front bracket, this notch faces the lower inside of the truck. That'll line up with these holes. And we can install a nut and bolt and washer. We'll do both sides finger tight and then torque everything to spec. Now all the bolts are finger tight and our brackets are level, we can go ahead and torque all these bolts down to spec. 24mm socket on the frame rail, we'll do this one first, and then 3/4 on the bracket. We're ready to lay in the factory wiring harness. Remember the plug goes on the driver's side, so we'll go underneath this part here in the bumper, and then outside the wiring harness, again, same thing, we'll go underneath, and then we'll use a couple little sticky pads and zip ties to secure it in place. Bumper's ready to go on, so we'll go ahead and put one of these strips on each side, and then we'll pick up a nut, put that in each hand so we're ready, grab a friend, put the bumper on, use that nut to secure, and we can go ahead and put the other strips in place. Next, we'll do our side-to-side adjustments to make sure our gaps are equal on both sides. We can also do our height adjustment now too. So we'll set that in place. That should be good. Once that's good, we can check our tailgate clearance. Lower slow. So we got a good gap on both sides. That's good. If that's good, we can go ahead and torque the rest of these nuts down to spec. Next up, we'll be installing the plates on the back of this bumper. Today we've got the gunmetal gray, so we'll start with the center license plate one first. We'll take our trailer light adapter. That will install like so. It'll snap into place, then we can reconnect our plug for the trailer lights and then screw it into place. We'll move on to the side plates now. We'll go ahead and insert our plastic inserts for the parking sensors and really just slide into place and snap in. We'll do that on both sides, put our bezel in, and then we can do our pod light once that's installed. All right, last thing to do is going to be tying up any loose wiring under the bumper and then reconnecting our main harness. We'll do that now, and that'll wrap it up. All right guys, that wraps up the bumper installation on this Ram pickup. Remember, we have multiple lighting and color options for these inserts. If you have any technical questions or installation questions, reach us on the phone or our email. Thanks.